Hi all, Raidwald here. I'm going to do a video today on abortion, everybody's favorite topic. I'm going to present a principled and logical argument as to why abortion is wrong. And, well, let's just go from there. First of all, the main question here, right? If abortion is murder, the main question is, what constitutes human life? Or rather, are fetuses living humans? And there's another relevant question. Do all living humans deserve a right to life? So, addressing the first. We have to ask, is a fetus a living organism? Right? This is just one part of that question. Is a fetus, or an embryo, rather, a living organism? Well, there's actually a pretty large consensus among embryologists, large enough that, in fact, I don't know of an embryologist that takes the opposite position. But the consensus is that at the moment of fertilization, we have a whole, although it developmentally immature, human being. That literally means that at the moment of fertilization, the moment a sperm enters an egg and the two become one, we have a living organism. Alright, well, is this living organism human? I don't think it's controversial to say that the only objective measure of this is the genetics of the living organism. And yes, genetically it is human. It has human DNA. Okay, so now we have a pretty objective way of coming at the conclusion that any embryo, any fertilized egg, is in fact a living organism and genetically human, which logically makes it a living human. This living human will be genetically distinct from the mother, which means an abortion, even at the very earliest stages, is not just removing a clump of cells from the mother's body. Why? Because that clump of cells is not the mother's body. It is genetically distinct from the mother, and is therefore a different body, a different being, a different human being. Since this clump of cells, as you would put it, is in fact a living human, ending its life would constitute murder. Any willful human action which ends the life of a living fetus or embryo is in fact murder, unless we want to redefine murder to exclude such things. In which case, and this would basically come down to changing also our definition of rights, or rather changing our position on which humans deserve rights. Currently, my understanding is that all human beings are considered to have a right to life. Okay, so perhaps you want to debate whether or not certain living humans have a right to life. Okay, well, that would be exactly the type of thing that we saw in the case of slavery, right? There were certain human beings which were not considered to have a right to liberty or a right to life, right? The slave owner was allowed to kill their own slaves. I think all of us saw this as horrendous. We also saw in the 20th century regimes in which people were considered completely owned by the state. The state was allowed to do with people as they would. And in those states, in those regimes, we saw mass murder in the millions, in the tens of millions. I don't think anybody wants to go back to there. So, my question is if we are to decide certain living humans do not have a right to life, then what is the principle by which we limit that right to life? What is the limiting principle? And who gets to decide that? Which political elite are we going to set aside who get to determine which humans can have a right to life and which humans cannot? And if there is a political elite which can decide that for other people, then do any of us have a right to life? Or is our so-called right, in practice, more of a recognized traditional privilege? So as always, please leave all comments below. I'm happy to see them and to respond to them if I'm able. Rate the video. Thank you guys all for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see y'all later.